Yeah, 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 Ergo. Hey, 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 look.
Yeah, what's going on? I go by the name of Steph, and welcome back to another episode of the Millennial Dungeon. How's everybody doing on this beautiful day? I know I had a great day, got productive, Man, you gotta make your goals happen, y'all. So this is a special episode. We got a writer on our episode today. Goes by the name of Jay Legacy. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm wonderful, wonderful. Hope I violated and I apologize. Hold on now. You gotta give me. I know we're recording live. Watch this. Give me 5 seconds. I'm gonna show you why.
Okay.
Bam. Had to just for this, man.
Okay. I had mine too. I had mine ready too.
But this, when I grab this, I feel the energy going in my body.
So, just to give people like a brief summary of how we met. So, a few weeks ago, I went to there's a black-owned store in Philadelphia on South Street called Black and Noble, and the owner of the store, Hakeem, he told me he was a book signer, and I decided to go down there, and this is where I met you at, and uh, it was a great experience just meeting you, man. So, you were promoting your book,
Yes, yes.
Blood, and just to give a brief summary about it. So, could you tell us what the book is about?
Book is about. I don't like to give away the story, so I kind of start talking mysterious a little bit. But it's
Mm-hmm.
the ripple effect. It's a story about a young man who made certain choices, and when he made certain choices, he get what comes with making those certain choices. But the message at the end of the bottle is that when we chase certain things, you shouldn't be chasing whatever energy drives you. What the end results can be, right? And most of the times, it's jails, institution, or death. Right? Any game that you play, you ain't playing for the right team, jails, institution, or death. And that's what this book talks about. In the story form, that's hence is warring for blood. Because the young man, you either gonna die in the streets or the cops gonna lock you up.
Thanks. What made you want to write this story? Like, could you give like backstory on like what inspired you to write this?
Yeah, time in the prison cell, sitting in the prison cell, that's when everybody gets sharp with the pen. You be writing some bomb letters. If you ever read a letter from somebody who wrote something in jail, his penmanship is on a beam. So I used to spend a lot of time. That was cathartic. I think I'm using that word right. Cathartic for me, it was like a way of me getting releasing some of the tension off of me from dealing with prison.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just make up stuff, just read it back, just entertain myself with the pen. So was doing a little exercise, and I was writing in what they would call first person, second person, third person, but I would write the same story, but I had to write it from those different angles. So I would take little courses. I wrote something, throw it down. I just was exercising to see how good I could just create things. So I set it down, set it to the side, and then the guy, I had a cellie, right? So my cellie said, "What's that right there?" I said, "No, that was just some exercise I was doing." Right. He's like, Can I read that? It's like, "No, I'm about to throw that in the trash." So he read it, and it was like 3 or 4 pages. And he was like, "Yo, what's the rest of the?" And I seen how sincere he was, and he wasn't really that type of person that I say, you don't get real encouragement in prison if somebody's saying you're doing something good. It's kind of a hostile environment or whatever.
Yeah.
I seen the sincerity in his eyes. I was like, "Yo, you really like that, John?" He said, "Yeah, I really like." So I just kept going, and going.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. Yeah, we all got
Yeah, I
find.
think it is too.
Yeah, I know, man. Like when I first got it, like, and I saw, and I remember you explaining it to me at the book signing. I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool, man. I gotta like get this." And obviously, I was gonna support anyway as possible, but I was like,
Right.
we not only did I buy it, but I was like, we gotta get you on the podcast because I feel like this is a one. Obviously, it was during Black History Month, and I feel as though if you ain't gonna support on your own people during Black History Month, when you gonna support, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. True that. True that. True that.
And true, like I feel as though like reading, especially reading, writing in our culture, like I feel like a lot of our youth don't really do much of it anymore. Like
Right,
you
right.
still hear about like black writers and stuff like that, but it's just like a lot of our youth don't really look at reading as a hobby anymore. It's just like, oh, that's something I gotta do for school, or it's something I gotta do for a certain.
Let me say this. Let me speak to that. Let me speak to that.
Yeah,
That's a big injustice.
yeah,
Anybody who reads book know that's a big injustice. A book has the ability to people to communicate of all walks of life. So it's like I wasn't around for Malcolm X. My favorite book ever that I read, other than the Bible and the dictionary, is the autobiography of Malcolm X. Right? Now, I never met Malcolm X, but that's my hero. But I never met him. But through his book, we were able to connect. So that shows the power of reading and writing. It just opened you up to these worlds that wouldn't have existed had you not read, right? Because I go across that wall in that bookstore, it was like eeny, meeny, mighty, mo. I read so many of those books and just that connection. I think the young people do read, but it's like it's different content now. You know what I mean? It might be in just short little niblets. Yeah. On Instagram or something. Now it's memes. We memed out now. That's the reading we do.
exactly. It's like I feel like our attention span, and I kind of blame social media too. Like our attention span isn't where it used to be at when it comes to want to read something all the way through, because we're so used to like instant like news. Like you think of like a breaking news like on Instagram or something like that. We just want to read a headline and maybe 2 or 3 sentences instead of actually taking time to read a whole article or read a
Now,
whole short story.
I'm gonna tell you something. With another thing, as an author, what writing does for you, right?
Yeah.
What I wrote in this book. Some of this stuff I made come to life just because I wrote it. I wrote in this book. I created a scene in Black and Nobels because that was my favorite bookstore. I didn't know who this man was. I just knew Black and Nobel was a place. I've been there. I didn't know him.
Yeah.
So as I was writing the book, I said somebody was doing a book signing in his bookstore. It was the author in his It was an author doing a book signing in his bookstore. Wrote in, but then one day I came. I said, "Let me see if I can take some down there." No, matter of fact, you got to look up this guy named OG Law. I don't know if you heard of OG Law, but OG Law is all you gotta do is look it up. He played in Concrete Cowboy, but that's my guy. We was booked together, right? I don't put the man business out there, but we did time together. So he actually was the connect. So he said, "I'm gonna help push the book," and then he introduced me to the brother. And then since he has respect for that man, he just gave me the red carpet.
Okay.
So when I handed the book to his assistant, the first thing he did, the first page he opened up, this not the page, I'm just, first page he opened up, it said Black and Nobel. You know what I mean? I was like, and at that moment, I was like, he was like, "Yo, it says Black and Nobel," and I'm just as messed up about it as you are, bro. But I'm just saying the power of the pen.
Right.
So I tell you to write down your goals.
Yeah.
While you hear about Biggie Small and Tupac wrote albums that got themselves killed, the pen is really stronger than what really people believe it to be. So this is a long way of an old head saying that reading and writing is important, man.
So I guess like to wrap it all up, and like what's like, and if you want to say this like in at least 15 seconds, what's like a message that you would want like especially young black men to get out of reading this?
What say that again?
If you was to say the answer in 15 seconds, what's a message that you would want a young black person to get out of this message, or what's a message you would want them to get out of this book?
The message I would want a person to get out this book and just think about the things you do before you do them. You know, when you young, you want to be wild. You don't want people to tell because we all flexing into the new generation is getting away with, like, "No, I ain't trying to do it my way." That's all cool. That's all dandy. But at the end of the day, just make sure that you're making the right decisions because you're going to be older longer than you're going to be younger. And the text of this book is going to show you the things that this man is making these certain decisions. He get to a point where he gets right here, but it all comes crumbling down because he didn't make the right decision. So it ended up taking them down. So don't take yourself down. Just take your time and plant more strategically.
You heard him. That's a message right there in itself, y'all. But Jay Legacy, I appreciate you and
I
for
appreciate
everything,
you.
for agreeing to come on this. Like we need more role models like you, the actually people that's actually been in a life and like made something happen in a positive way. Because
Yes,
I
sir.
feel like a lot of our youth, especially our young black youth, don't see that a lot. Especially like in front of them, they probably see that on their phone when it comes to rappers and athletes, but we don't really have writers like you that actually be prime examples, or you can make it and still make something out of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you. Check out this book. You want to shout out any social media or any website you can they got this?
Oh, well, you go. I would suggest if you're in the Philadelphia area, go down to Black and Nobel, and that's 422 South Street. Black and Nobel. Holla at my man Hakeem. Good energy, good love, good vibes in the store, and also Amazon.com. Or if you hit me up on social media, right, which is Maul, MAA underscore MAAL underscore the underscore great, which would be Maul the Great. You don't live too far, I'll sign the copy and bring it to you.
Nice. Go check it out. Warren for Blood, y'all.
One for blood. Good looking, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you. And with that being said, I'll go by the name of Steph, and this has been another episode of Millennial Dungeon. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. Ergo.